Okay, the next property today that we're going to learn will be angle at the center is equal to twice the angle at the circumference. Okay, just pay attention to this portion here. If you notice, the angle at the center is formed, start with A to center OB. AOB is the angle at the center because this is the center down here. O is center. And notice, right, no matter what I do down here, okay, look at the angles. Okay, for example, if angle BOA is 115.05, angle BPA, which is here, start with A to P to B, alright, this is the angle at circumference. It will always be half, or the angle at center will always be twice of the angle at circumference. Let's see for different values. Okay, for example, if my angle at the circumference is, okay, my angle at the center is about 90 degrees like this, my angle at the circumference APB will always be half of it. Alright, so this is the property. Angle or at the center is always twice any angle at the circumference. Alright, now let's try to see different ways of seeing this. Okay, if I move my APB like this, notice that the angle at the center will always be twice the angle at the circumference. And there are different ways of looking at this. You notice if I shift the thing until like this, okay, still my angle at the center, okay, is still twice the angle at the circumference. If I shift it this way like this, my angle at the center AOB is still twice the angle at the circumference. If I shift it the other way like this, still angle at the center is 2 times angle at circumference. You can shift it like this as well, also possible. My angle at the center is twice angle at circumference. So you notice, right, there are many ways of looking at this. You can even go for it the other way. Okay, my angle at center, oopsie, my angle at the center in this case, see, my angle at center is 211.93. my angle at circumference is 105.97. So that's the third property that we learned, where the angle at center is twice angle at the circumference. Let's look at the next property, property 4. Angle at the center, okay, angle in a semicircle. How do I know that this is a semicircle? AOB, alright, it passes through the center. So this side, it forms a semicircle. The other side, it also forms a semicircle. If you notice, once there is an angle in a semicircle, no matter how I shift the point around, you notice angle BCA will always be 90 degrees, okay, which tells us that angle subtended by the diameter of a circle, or the angle in a semicircle, if you go the other way, also same thing, angle BCA will still be 90 degrees. So angle in a semicircle will always be, if you notice down here, it will always be 90 degrees. Fifth property, okay, angles in the same segment will be equal. Alright, now if you pay attention, right, we start with P and Q, PSR, okay, and PRQ. PSQ and PRQ. These two angles will always be equal. If you notice, no matter how I shift these two angles around, okay, as long as you start at the same point, P and Q, PRQ, PSQ, the angle will always be the same. See, notice, no matter how I shift it around, it is the same angle. Let me try to change the angle a bit for you. Okay, if you notice down here, angle B is 33.1, angle A is 33.18. Alright, if I shift it around, still starting at PSQ, PRQ, the angle still remains the same. If I put it this way also, PRQ, PSQ, my angle still remains the same at 33.18, no matter where I shift the point. Same thing also, if I shift this point also, as long as you start at P and Q as well, it will be the same angle no matter where I shift it, like this. Okay, and that's property 3, 4 and 5 of circle property.